Good evening, everyone. My name is Ruby Morales, and when I tell you, I literally cannot believe I am up here making this speech about hope, and with only a couple days left of school, I seriously mean it. A couple years ago, I was the girl with the least amount of hope for a better life, and there's no way I imagined myself surviving all 4 years of high school. Ever since I can remember, I've been that shy little girl who'd hide behind all the tall kids in the back of the classroom. It even got so bad that I was that kid who would awkwardly eat my pasta with a spoon because I was too scared to ask for a fork. Hiding in the shadows had always been my go-to, and more than often, it began to feel like my only option. I'm the youngest of 9. Yes, 9. I know it's hard to believe, but trust me, it's pretty common in Hispanic families. Being the youngest, I always felt in a way overshadowed by my siblings. They never outwardly outshone me, but it was more rather a self-sabotage I created to psych myself out from my responsibilities. Having always seen my siblings as the leading figures, I would see the troubles they got themselves into and the difficulties they faced. I had my life planned out. Go to high school, barely show up enough to get a good no college education necessary job, and most importantly, don't ever, never be caught as a quote-unquote nerd enjoying their schoolwork. Education seemed like something to dread and avoid at all cost. I wondered to myself, is this the only path I could take? Was there no option to be different? But now, looking back on it from my experience at Pacifica, this isn't actually true. I learned education is one of the most wonderful things we are privileged to say we have. It may not seem like that in most cases, but I've come to realize from my previous experiences at other schools, many of the faculty just didn't hold such a strong connection with their students. But I, however, am blessed to say Pacifica provided me with faculty and staff who genuinely care for us. And if I'm being fully honest, they provide me a glimpse of hope. Hope for a better life, a fulfilling life, and most importantly, a virtuous life. From before I even started my 9th grade year, I was able to feel the comfort that is Pacifica. I still remember that cute little brown bag filled with my acceptance letter and hoodie. I just could not believe a school cared so much about me that they hand-delivered me the gift. Once the school year had actually begun, we had this orientation day, which I remember being terrified to go to. I knew absolutely no one from this school. I remember thinking, what even is Pacifica? I had never heard of it before. Not only was I scared for myself, but I was scared for my parents. They are native Spanish speakers, and from all 6 schools I've been to, not one put in the effort to speak to my parents and make sure they truly understood. But to my surprise, Pacifica proved me wrong. That day, both my parents and I left happy, being greeted by Senora Lespierre, who made my parents feel included. From that moment on, my hopes to be placed in a school that truly cares for me were fulfilled. As small as it was, those simple few Spanish words of introduction reassured me I made the right choice coming here. Still having been testing the waters, about a month in, we went off to retreat. And I think that has been one of the best memories I've had here at Pacifica. From the first day there, I was included by all the girls, and they saw me for who I really was, not that quiet girl most would previously label me and move on. On that day, I was given hope. I could truly show myself for who I really was, and I would still be loved. It was a feeling quite unfamiliar to me. As I said, I've always kind of hid in the shadows. But the hope of inclusion and comfort weren't the only kind of hope I received that day. I've always been aware of who God is, but I never took any time to create a connection with him. The church I attended had been a Spanish one, so I kind of just sat there, sort of listening but not really paying attention. I guess, I don't know what I was thinking. It's not my language. I don't know. I was just being too lazy to understand, I guess. But when I stepped into the chapel room at that retreat and saw all the students singing praise to the Lord, I felt a sudden burst of joy and calmness. The feeling I got that day is indescribable. As I stood there and let the melodic noises flow through me, I realized God had placed me at that exact moment with those exact people at that exact stage of my life to show the marvelous works he has created. God had given me the hope that I would be able to survive high school, and all those negative presumptions I had of myself slowly dissolved, being replaced with joy and peace. I don't think there has been a moment from that day I've wanted to quit school or God and just live my life not knowing what's to come next. And I know we all joke about, gosh, I can't wait until I'm done with school, or I can't stand this anymore. But I can tell you from all my fellow seniors I've spoken with, we are going to miss these days. As hard as the curriculum started to feel, like honestly, who gives a 13-year-old freshman Homer and Virgil and says, here, write me an essay on good and evil and what it means to be human? But from those great challenges, we learn to overcome hardships and come out wiser, understanding our purpose here on earth as children of God. Pacifica created a community of hope for a better life and a sense of love between us all. We have all grown together and learned to love and hope for the best for each other. To this, I can tell you all, Pacifica has been an experience like no other. I have learned to cherish my fellow classmates, as after all, I am my brother's keeper. As Pacifica has promised me a better life in faith and abundant joy, I hope you too can feel that sense of abounding hope tonight, as I did the very first day I was accepted. Oh, and this little shy girl doesn't exist anymore, so don't expect me to hide.